Welcome back to Just Scribble. I have an order here from Twines and Paper. I have their 2024 week bound planner. It's their new planner, and I have it here to share and review with you guys. So let me open up. I mean, look how pretty this packaging is. It has sparkling tissue paper and the little confetti pieces of paper. But let me take everything out of the packaging so it's a little less noisy, and then we will take a look at these planners. I did get this beautiful card that says "Hello Gorgeous." On the other side it has a thank you, and it has their website and their Instagram, and I will put that down in the description box down below. It did come with this little bag. It says "Scribble, don't swipe. Write, don't type," which is so appropriate for me and for my channel. So I'm really excited for this cute little dust bag. It is adorable. And then these are the planners, and then 2 clear covers. So Twines and Paper is a beautiful stationery shop. This is actually my first time to order from them. It will not be my last. There's actually some things I'm already looking at ordering, but they recently launched their 2024 planners. These planners are weeks size, so the same size as your Hobonichi Weeks or your Sterling Ink and 2 or your Paper Test Weekly, etc. All of the weeks size planners. And they come in 3 different options. They have their week book that's undated, then they have their week book that's dated for 2024, and then they have their day book. I have both their dated week book and their undated week book here. I did not buy the day book, but if you're a person that just needs a little goal section, future log, your 12 monthlies, and then enough daily pages for 1 day a year, and you love the week size, the day book is awesome. It reminds me a lot of Astrology. The front sections, the goals, future log, and monthlies are going to match what I'm going to share in these planners, but the dailies remind me of Astrology because they have this really nice faint section at the top. I'll insert a picture here so you guys can see it, so that you can mark the month and the date of your page. It's so light, you could also just completely ignore it and use it as a journal. So I did not buy one of those to share, but I will have links down in the description box in case you wanted to check one out. But like I said, if you're a person that does a more bullet journal style, or you don't need weekly spreads, you just need dailies and monthlies, it would be a really great option. And it still comes in the same 4 different color covers that these come in. So they do have clear covers. I'm not going to show these in very much detail because they're just basic clear covers, but they do have clear covers that fit all of these planners. So they fit the undated week book, the dated week book, and also the day book. The planners do come in these cardboard boxes. They say Twines and Paper, and they have this beautiful floral line art. I really like the aesthetic of Twines and Paper. It's just beautiful, and their shop, oh, they have so many amazing things. So definitely go on and check them out after this video. This is one of their dated week books. This is the undated. And then this one is dated. So these are 3 of the 4 cover color options. They have Sky, which is this one, which is a beautiful blue. They have Charcoal, which is this one, which is basically black. It's such a dark charcoal color. They have Ivory, which is this one, which is a kind of creamy, almost like a latte color or milk tea color. And then they also have Honey, which is a beautiful brown color. So all 3 styles come in any of those cover options. So I am not actually going to open up both of these because they're identical. I'm just going to open up the Sky so we can check out the dated, and then I will just do a quick little flip of the undated because it's basically the same, just undated. So this is a Hobonichi Weeks, an old 2019 Hobonichi Weeks that I had, but you can see that the Twines and Paper week book, and then the day book is going to be the same, is the exact same height as the Hobonichi Weeks, but you get a little bit more page space because you don't have that lip around where the hardcover is. So it's kind of the same concept as the Sneaker Weeks, except for it's going to be a little bit taller than your Sneaker Weeks because the Sneaker Weeks is made the paper size of the Hobonichi, not the height of the hardcover of the Hobonichi Weeks, if that makes sense. So that's a comparison to that. I grabbed 2 things from Sterling Ink so I can show you a comparison of that as well. Okay, so I have a few things just to compare with you guys, and then we will dig inside. This is a full year weeks size from Sterling Ink. This is just a notebook, but if you got their full year non-compact in2, it would be this thick. And I just wanted to show you a little comparison so you guys could see that the size is the same as the Sterling Ink. This is thinner because it doesn't have enough pages for every day of the year. Their day book, on the other hand, has enough pages for every day of the year, but it doesn't have weeklies. Everything else is the same as in this week book. And then I was going to show you this because this is the half year Sterling Ink, but instead I think it'd be easier to show you with my planner for 2024. 2024. Take it out of the cover. So this is the Sterling Ink Into Full Year Compact, and you can see those are the same height and the same width across and about the same thickness, but the Weekbook seems just like a little bit thicker. And then this does have gold gilded edges, whereas in Sterling Ink you can choose, and I chose not to. But the Weekbook and the Daybook, dated, undated, they come automatically with gold gilded edges. Just put that back in my cover real quick. And then this is the Mist from Sterling Ink, the blue cover from Sterling Ink, which I absolutely love. And I wanted to be able to show you the difference between the sky and the mist. So this has a sort of like gradient, almost like a tie-dye print to it, but they have similar textures. This one's a little bit tighter of a pebble, whereas this one almost has like little wrinkles. In both of them, you can feel the texture, but the twines and paper is softer. This is more slick, and this is, I don't know, it's not suede, but it is a lot softer and it's less slick. So this is the Weekbook, this is the dated. So here it does say Weekbook 2024. On the front it says Weekbook 2024. The undated one says undated. It is 52 GSM Tomoe River Paper, and it is a 4mm grid. When you open it up, you have the normal cardstock, and then you have the page that kind of sticks to the cardstock page. And that says Weekbook 2024, and then designed by Twines and Paper. When you turn the page, you have your yearly overview. So it's 2024 on both sides, 6 months on each page, and then a grid down below where you can make notes, or you can color code dates with a date dot or a circle sticker, and then you can put a matching one down here and write out what's going on those dates. After that, you go into the goals section. So this is the Q1 goals, Q2 goals, and then the next page is Q3 and Q4. So it's 1 page of goals per quarter, and each quarter has a different quote at the top of the page. You can see there. And then it's broken down into important, and then the 3 months of that quarter, and then little miniature monthlies for that quarter so that you can see the monthly. You could color code dates on here with some of your goals if you wanted to. After the goals, you go into your future log, perpetual calendar, whatever it is that you want to call it. It does have the month at the top and then a grid section. Then you have the date and the day of the week. There's no shading or designation showing whether it's a weekend or not. And then you have additional grid down below, and it's 2 months per page. So you have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Like with any perpetual calendar, and I really need to do a video on this, you can use these for so many things. I have a plan to do a video showing you guys different ways that you can use these. I just haven't gotten around to it. I will say that in the Sterling Ink, you had the 2024 overview page, but it was all on one page. So the same basic, let me put this there. So the same basic design, but spread out because it's on 2 pages in the Twines and Paper, which I actually personally prefer. And then in the Sterling Ink, you had 2 blank grid pages, and then you had her version of goals, which was different than this version of goals. I actually like this version of the goals in the Twines and Paper. This version of goals works for me as well, but neither one of them is like my ideal way to set goals, but both work. I do like the quarterly aspect, and Sterling Ink has that as well, but it's not called goals. It's just a quarterly section. So they both have a quarterly breakdown by month. But Sterling Inks and Twines and Papers is set up a little bit different. So for Twines and Paper, you get the quarterly goals each quarter on its own, and then after that you go into your sort of perpetual calendar or your future log. But on Sterling Ink, your quarter is here, and then the perpetual calendar or future log or habit tracker, however you want to use it, is on the opposite side of the corresponding quarters page. And so the quarters kind of face each other like that, whereas in here you have your quarterly pages separated for goals from these pages. I actually kind of prefer this because to me that way my goals are together, and then any sort of tracking or indexing or whatever it is I would use the perpetual calendar for are together. Let me set this here so I can have it on hand. So after you go through your future log or perpetual calendar, you go into your monthlies. There's no December monthly. It starts directly into January, as you can see there. It is a Monday start, and this is a dated planner. And then the week designation is over here on this side. So that way your sidebar isn't interrupted by it. So you have the week designation if you need it, but you also have the full space of your sidebar. I'm comparing this to sterling ink because it's the closest thing I have to the twines and paper, and I think they're very similar. There are also some aspects of this that remind me of paper tests in a way, but I don't have a paper test to show you, so I'm showing you sterling ink. Oh, and I can't show you an undecorated monthly because I already decorated them, so you can't see them in full. But in the sterling ink, you also have the sidebar and you have the Monday start and all of that, but your weekly designation is here. So if you were using the sidebar as a place for lists or writing, you would run into that weekly designation. I prefer, personally, that the weekly designation in the twines and paper is over here, so it's out of the way. And then I did just want to show you a size difference, so you could see a size difference on the boxes. So the sterling ink is a 3.7 by 3.9 millimeter grid, whereas twines and paper is a 4 millimeter grid. So there's not a hugely dramatic size difference in the size of the grid, but the monthly boxes in the sterling ink do appear bigger. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the sterling ink are one grid wider, so they are bigger than the twines and paper. So all of your months are at the front all together, and then after December you have January of 2025, and then you have 2 blank grid pages that you could use for your vision board, for additional goals, for anything that you wanted. And then you go into the weekly spread. So the weekly spread has some aspects of it that remind me of paper tests and some aspects of it that remind me of the sterling ink. So let me flip. This is the sterling ink weekly spread. It's very simple. It's just a Monday start with your dates down the side, and there's no other markings, no calendars, no habit trackers or anything like that. The twines and paper also has your Monday start dated, as you can see there, but it's pre-divided, so you have basically 2 columns, and it has this section up here that's grid that doesn't have anything on it, where you could do your this week, or you could use that for decor, and a little mini calendar up there. This part right here reminds me of paper tests. This part right here reminds me of both paper tests and sterling ink. It has the vibes of both to me. And then on this side, you have plain grid until you get to the bottom where you have a habit tracker. And although this isn't the same habit tracker that's built into paper tests in the way that their design is, the aesthetics of this kind of give me paper test vibes mixed with sterling ink vibes. I think it's a really good functional layout. You guys know I hate these tiny calendars. I think it takes up space that I could use for other things, and it means that anytime I put decor, that's pretty much where it's going, and so my book kind of bulks up right there. That's where I always put decor to cover that up. So I would prefer that this not be there and just have a section so I could do whatever I wanted with the entire width of that. But I know some people actually like the little monthlies. I don't mind. The division is already done for me because I do that in a lot of my planners in this style as well. And it's also faint, so if I wanted to write over it, I could. But I really like the fact that it has a habit tracker already built into it, just because then I don't have to draw them all the time, and it looks really nice and clean. But that's how all of the weekly spreads look. You go through all of the weekly spreads until the last week of the year, which goes through January 5th. And then when you turn the page, you go into blank grid pages. You have 205 blank grid pages in the back with nothing on them, and they're page numbered starting right after the last week of December. It starts with number 1 and goes through 205. And then you are in the back of the book. You have the cardstock and the back cover. This planner feels really nice in the hand. I really, really like it. So let me scoot that out of the way. So the ivory one is identical to this sky one. So I'm not going to open that up and flip through that because those are identical. But I did just want to quickly flip through the undated just so you could see the undated version. So this one is in charcoal, so it's a black. It's the same cover, like it feels the same, but it has less texture on it. That may just be this piece. I'm not really sure if all of them are like that. This has a little bit more texture than this one. And then in the ivory, is kind of similar to the black, and it doesn't have that sort of watercolor effect. I think that the honey has more of this effect in the coloring, but it's kind of hard to tell in photos, but it is like a rich brown color. But this is the undated, so it says undated there, says undated there. When you open the book, it says undated on the front. Then you have your 2 grid pages. and then you go into your goals. There's no quarterly markings, monthly markings, or anything like that, but it still has the quotes at the top, and then these are blank, so you can use them however you want, which I really love. You could have a page for you and a page for your husband. You could have a page for personal, you could have a page for work. You could do it however you wanted, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections here and 6 sections here. So it's just 2 pages of goals instead of 4. And it has a little spot here where you can write like the header or the topic for your goal. And so you have a place to basically write 12 goals. So you could do 6 goals for the year. You could do a beginning of the year set here, and then you could do a mid-year reset here if you wanted. Lots of things you could do. Then you go into the perpetual calendar. It is numbered, as you can see there. Every month has 31, so you would just kind of white out or disregard the extra days on months that weren't 31 days long. And there's no month designation, so you could start this at any time. So you have all of your perpetual index pages or future log pages, and then you go into your monthlies, which are not dated and also have no days on them. So if you are a Sunday start person, you could actually buy this and make it Sunday start, and you could date it yourself, and you get 13 months. So you could have a future month if you wanted for future planning. And then after the monthlies, you have your 2 blank grid pages, and then you go into your weeklies, which are set up in the exact same way, but because it's undated, there's no calendar here, which I find awesome. There's still the division here, and there's still the habit tracker here, but it doesn't say anything. So that way, if you are a Sunday start person, you could do Sunday start here, or if you didn't want to track by day and you wanted to use this for something else, you could. So you get 53 weeks worth of weekly pages. And then after the very last one, you go into the grid, starting at page number 1 and going to page number 205. So that is the undated version. As you guys can tell, I have bought 3 of these, so you may have guessed I'm doing a giveaway. So this undated one, the charcoal one, that's actually for me. I prefer this layout personally without the monthly calendar, as you guys know. And I like the flexibility of being able to start this at any time and using it for anything that I want. So I bought this undated one for me. I had a lot of trouble deciding what color cover I wanted, but I decided to go just with the classic charcoal because I thought it was really pretty and sleek, and that it looked really nice with the gilded edges. So this is actually my planner, which I won't be using this year, or I don't plan on using this year. I don't know for sure. It will go in my stash of undated planners to grab from when I need a planner in the future. But these are for you guys. So I am actually giving away 2 of these planners. Both of them are 2024 dated weekbooks from Twines and Paper. I am giving away the planner and the cover to 2 lucky winners. So there's going to be 2 winners for this giveaway. This giveaway is going to be US only. I mentioned this in my last giveaway because of the cost of the planners that I bought recently, which include Paper Test, this one, and one other brand. I bought them all from companies that were based outside of the United States, and I paid quite a bit for both the planners and also the shipping. So as a result, this is going to be a US only giveaway, but I'm going to be giving away 1 Sky Weekbook and 1 Ivory Weekbook to 2 lucky winners. So to enter this giveaway, you do have to be subscribed to my channel, and then you need to comment down below with a flower emoji or the word flower in brackets, and then let me know what you would use this Twines and Paper Weekbook for. So that's all you have to do. Be subscribed, put a flower or the word flower in brackets, and then tell me what you would use this for, and you'll be entered in the giveaway. The giveaway starts now the moment this video goes live, and it ends January 13th at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will announce the winner here on January 14th in a response to your comment, and then also a post in the community tab. I will have all of the rules and details of the giveaway down in the description box, so please make sure that you check that out. I will also have Twines and Paper's website and their Instagram down there, and the details of the undated and dated weekbooks, as well as the daybook, so you have those for reference. If you have any questions or comments on this video, please don't hesitate to put them down below, but I do ask that you put them in a separate comment than your giveaway entry post. That way I can keep the entries and the comments separate. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.